Welcome to FC Volendam in the Netherlands, playing in the Eredivisie, and this is going to be a Youth Development Challenge series. What is a Youth Development Challenge series? Well, basically, we've got a few rules to follow, and they all revolve around our youth setup. We need to make sure, obviously, that we are improving our youth setup as much as possible. But in order to do that, we need to be successful. Why do we want to make our youth setup as good as possible? We need to be getting through the best youth candidates possible as well. We have some rules in place that means we need to play a certain amount of players that have come through our youth intakes every single season. In Season 1, because we have not had a youth intake as of yet, we don't have to play anyone. We can just play Football Manager normally. In Season 2, we must play 2 players that have come through our youth intake in Season 1. So we better hope we get some good players through in Season 1. In Season 3, it is 3 players. Season 4, it is 4 players. Season 5, it is 5 players. Season 6 and onwards, it is still 5 players. Because basically, we'll get to a point where we'll just be playing lots and lots of children, and we might not even have good players in those positions, so we need to have a little bit of space to be able to kind of have a little bit of wiggle room as well. There is another couple of rules, though. I'm going to use Robin van Kruisen as an example. I don't even know whether that's how his name is said. He is 19 years of age. He's got 1 club, so technically he has come through our youth intake. He will be able to play for us as one of our locked-in players, assuming he came through our youth intake in-game. However, if he is 21 at the start of September, when the transfer window closes, I think it closes the 2nd of September every single season, we can't play him. So we must be playing 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 or 20-year-olds. If they are 21, they do not count towards our locked-in players. And using Robin as an example, how will I indicate what players have come through our youth intakes? What I will do is I will give them nicknames with a lovely little star at the front. I've also decided, I've done this in FM24, but I didn't do this. If I think they are going to be superstars or potentially the best of that intake, I will also put a lovely little plus there, which signifies to me that they are probably one of the better players to come through the intake. I can't do that for every single player. I can't say like 9 of these players are going to have like the pluses, but every single player that comes through the youth intake will be starred. Whether they even sign for us or not, they'll all be starred. And basically, we'll be able to track them if they turn good, if they sign for anyone else, if we've got any players that manage to get away from us as well. So the other thing we're going to do is we are not really going to control too much at all. I have basically said my assistant manager or director of football or anyone like that can do transfers all day long. They can do all the transfers. I'm not going to do transfers. My sole purpose is to pick the formation, to lock in the youth players and improve the youth facilities. So I've got to hope that my director of football doesn't sell our best youth prospects, which I'm almost certain will happen. As long as they get a good amount of money, it's not the end of the world. But we need to we can't control that. If we suddenly sell one of our youth players to I don't know, Man United for like £6 million or £3 million, we just have to suck it up and replace him. And obviously we need to replace him with a youth player from our youth intake. From a formation perspective, we're going to try out a 4-2-3-1 gegenpress mixed in with a 4-2-4 gegenpress out of possession. So in possession, it will be this. Out of possession, we'll actually push up to 2 strikers, which to me doesn't make sense, but I thought I'd give it a go. I've done no changes in any of the permissions. Instructions, that's what they're called. But we are going to go with this. Obviously, I'm not locking in anybody for this season, so we will clear the squad, and our assistant manager will basically do what he wants. So obviously, because we need to make sure that we are improving our youth facilities, this is our current status. So we have good youth facilities. We don't have a youth level. I've never seen a team with a youth level, so I don't know what that even means. Academy coaching is excellent, which is amazing. Our youth recruitment is above average, which is obviously not amazing, but we can kind of work on that. The final thing we're going to look at before we jump all the way forward to, I think, around April time, is that in the Eredivisie, when we have a look at the season preview, we are predicted to finish in 17th place. We've already set it very difficult for us to actually be able to stay in the league, let alone develop some good youth players. So we need to hope Season 1, we can just do a decent enough job. We're going to jump forward to around April time when our youth intake comes in. And obviously, I'll take you through some of the best players. And I think I might even lock in a player for the final, probably month and a half of the season as well. Because why not? It's now the 2nd of September. The transfer window has closed. And as I mentioned earlier, we have not done any transfers. However, I think some transfers have taken place. So 5 players seem to have joined on deadline day, all on free transfers. Nobody's left the club. I don't really know too much about any of these players. We have Sven Janssen as a 20-year-old attacking midfielder. Fair enough. I imagine these players were purchased because of the formation we've got. So they've gone and picked up players who can do a job for us. So we've got Hamdi Akujobi, could be his name in Nigeria. Where did he come from? What was his former team? Almere and Heerenveen, so fair enough. He's just spent a lot of time in the Netherlands. We've got Delano van der Heijden, could be his name, 20-year-old attacking midfielder, winger, striker kind of position. Fair enough. And Rida Chahid, a central midfielder, another 20-year-old. We seem to be buying lots of children, which is kind of a concern. Enrico Specksnyder could be his name. Again, another 20-year-old right winger this time around. It means that the squad looks fairly bloated. Oh, does it? It's actually only 24 people, so it's not that bloated. If we do best 11 and have a look at the tactics, that's not the tactics, that's the tactics. So this is what they're going to go with. Our entire back four are travelling for some reason. Trinidad and Tobago squad, Congo squad, Togo and Suriname. Fair enough. Our entire defence is off travelling the world. Fair enough. We've got... So it doesn't look horrendous, does it? If we actually do the combined view. So this is actually more likely the sort of, well, the average positions. Doesn't look awful. Obviously, come April, we're going to have a little 15 or 16-year-old turning up in this squad as well. I'm not too sure how good they're going to be. I imagine they're not going to be 3-star. We're probably going to have a 1.5-star player at best playing in our midfield or in our defence or as a winger. Probably not a goalkeeper. Obviously, the season has also kicked off. We've played 4 matches and we've actually started off pretty good. 6th place in the table, 2 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat. We have... That tells us nothing, right? Okay, fair enough. Fixture schedule. Let's jump to this one instead. So we have beaten Utrecht and NAC Breda, lost to PSV, which is understandable, and drew with Fortuna Sittard. So not a terrible start to the season. I imagine if we were to finish anywhere near where we currently are, would probably be a very successful season. I'm expecting sort of 8th to 13th. If we're in that sort of area, that would be good. Avoid a relegation scrap, sort of mid-table finish would be pretty good. Decent start to the season so far. 8 goals scored as well. Just ignore the fact that we let in 6. Something I didn't show you earlier, by the way, is our financial situation. It's not good. This is the reason why we haven't actually spent any money on players. We've got £55,000 worth of transfer budget and negative £2,000 a week of wage budget. We've got 2.7 million in the bank. Like I said, we're over our wage budget. Things aren't looking great. So actually, we kind of do want to have ourselves a really good youth intake in season 1, because it might mean we get an absolute legendary footballer who gets sold for like £30 million, hopefully with some decent clauses as well. Speaking of, I guess the next thing to do then is to jump to our first youth intake, see what type of players we manage to get. First of all, before we take a look at the youth candidates, we are still 6th place in the table. We are now on the 9th of April. The youth intake has literally just come in. This is our very first youth intake. And spoiler, it is a golden generation in season 1, which is absolutely amazing. But we are currently 6th place in the table. 14 wins, 7 draws, 7 defeats. Our form is draw central at the moment, but 14 wins is huge, right? We're actually only 9 points off the top of the table. I don't think we're going to finish there, but the fact that we are just 9 points off the table was pretty impressive. If we scroll down, there's not just 3 games left to play, right? There's more than 3 games. 17 times 2 is 34, right? So there's still 6 to go. But, I mean, we could finish in a European spot. It's unlikely. Anyway, the reason why we have stopped at this point is obviously the youth candidates, and you can see there 5 elite prospects. I've already gone through these and put my stars and my pluses next to the players who I think will be stars. And basically, we have got amazing, amazing players. And we are going to go through everyone who is a top prospect or above, and we're going to go in reverse order. So we're going to start at the bottom here with Narivio Eindhoven, who is a 16-year-old right winger. Doesn't look particularly anything special. 1-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability here. We've got an Austrian right back called Maiko Geller, 16 years of age. Obviously, right back position doesn't actually look awful. Mentally looks pretty good. Nice 17 determination there. 4-star potential on Maiko. On the opposite side, we have Mile Bilbija, could be his name, a 16-year-old Dutch left-back. Again, high determination, decent physicals, 1-star current ability, 4-star potential. Jaden Borsma is a 15-year-old central defender, 6'3", so he's a big lad, 1-star current, 4-star potential here. Doesn't look amazing, mentally not necessarily got the numbers where we want them, but he's still only 15. Dejavan Artist, maybe, could be his name, 16-year-old right-back and right wing-back. I don't know why, I quite like the look of him, but actually, technically, he's absolutely garbage. Physically, he's all right. Mentally, he's not amazing either. He's got decent bravery, 1-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, though. And the last of the top prospects is Sjord Matsen, a 15-year-old goalkeeper, 6'2". Hopefully, he can do a little bit of growing. 6 free kick taken on a goalkeeper. I do love a goalkeeper who can take a free kick. Doesn't mean he's going to, but I do love that they could. Nice determination. Mentally, not horrendous. Decisions of 12. I mean, work rate of 5, but he's a goalkeeper. Do we need them to work too much? You want them to work like for 5 minutes a game, right? Martson has 1-star current ability, 4-star potential. I can't imagine he's going to be one of those players that I'm locking in Season 2. But as we move forward, we do start to find some players who might get locked in for Season 2. Saif Ibrahim is a 16-year-old striker who has got 12 finishing, 14 first touch. Mentally, got some decent numbers. Maybe not amazing numbers, really. I mean, he's amazing for a 16-year-old. 5'9" striker. Physically looks pretty good. Mentally looks pretty good. Technically looks pretty good. But I don't think he's going to be getting locked in. Selçuk Deniz could be his name. Is next up, a 16-year-old Dutch defensive midfielder. 1.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. Mentally looks pretty good. Technically doesn't look amazing. Physically also doesn't look particularly good either. He's also 5'8", so he's not really going to be winning too many headers, should we put it that way, particularly with 3 heading. But he might have the mental numbers in some of the right places, so determination is good. Aggression of 12, maybe that could be a little bit higher. Work rate's pretty low as well. So Deniz might be good. I'm not convinced he's an elite prospect. We also have 15-year-old Turkish attacking midfielder Hasan Bulut, who I think he could be very, very good. 1.5-star current ability, 5-star potential for Bulut. I think his mental numbers are kind of dragging him through here with a determination and work rate being nice and high. Technically, he's not amazing, but he's got some good numbers. Obviously, 14 technique's pretty good. We've got to remember as well, the current ability and potential ability is based on our squad, not on world football. So 5-star potential for world football means he's going to turn into Messi. 5-star potential for us means he's going to turn into probably someone reasonably, not Messi, shall we say. I literally can't think of any equivalent of like a really good player in the Dutch division. My brain is just completely melted. But maybe we will have an example in a few years' time. We have Andrew Beekman. He is a 5'3" winger. He's still very, very little, but he's also only 15 years of age. He is obviously a winger on that left-hand side. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. Mentally got some good numbers in good places. 14 determination, 14 work rate. I like physically also not horrendous. Natural fitness of 17 is good. Jumping reach of 1 and a height of 5'3". He may as well just not bother jumping at that point. Technically, looks all actually pretty good. And I think Beekman could be starting in Season 2. We do obviously need to play 2 players in Season 2. Beekman's probably going to be one of them, isn't he? And the other one could be a big risk because he's a centre-back, is Omar Mbinga, a 16-year-old Dutch central defender. He's 5'11", so not the biggest in the world, but he's only 16, so maybe there's a bit more growing he can do. Mentally, again, not amazing, but also not horrendous. Like 10's not the best. Obviously, you want to be seeing them at least sort of 14 kind of area would be pretty good, but he's got time to learn. He's got time to develop. I think Mbinga could be very good. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential there. We've got 5 elite prospects. Mbinga and Beekman are the 2 that I think we're going to lock in for Season 2. And as we mentioned earlier, I think we've got 6 games left to play. I'm going to lock in one player for those 6 as well. Assuming he signs his contract, that is going to be Andrew Beekman. Right now, he doesn't have a contract, so he's technically not going to play. So he might play 5 games between now and the end of the season. But yeah, Beekman will be playing on that left-hand side. And obviously, most likely for Season 2, we'll keep Beekman. And I think we'll go with a central defender as well. Let's jump forward then to the end of the season, see how will we do with our FC Volendam squad, and obviously we'll have a look as well to see how good Beekman has done. Well, in the league, we did actually finish in 6th place, and it looks like on the final game of the season, we jumped over Utrecht and NEC, so we could have finished in 8th place, and I think that meant we went into a European Places playoff, where we lost to Excelsior in the semi-final. Cool. So we could have got ourselves some European football if we weren't just utter garbage and lost at literally the first knockout game. Obviously, just in case you didn't get a full look of the table there, Ajax winning the league, then Go Ahead Eagles and Feyenoord in 2nd. Go Ahead Eagles, I feel like they should not be finishing that high. Fair play to them, they have obviously managed to do that, but we have done pretty good in Season 1. Financially, I do want to check to see where we are. We've got 4.7 million, so it's not a massive amount of money. I can't imagine the board are going to be willing to spend most of that, basically improving our training facilities and such. So we're not even going to bother trying for Season 1. I will take a very quick look to see how good Iceman actually managed to do. It's not Iceman, this is Beekman. How did he do in his first few games? He did play 6. He scored and got an assist. Can we see the goal that he scored? Can we actually just have a look at the goal? Is this possible? Oh, I think it is. I have noticed as well he is now 16, so I don't know what his date of birth is, but he was literally 15, I think, when he came through the youth intake. He's now 16. And straight from kickoff, from, I assume, the Telstar goal by the looks of it, Beekman has the ball on this left-hand side. Please tell me he just runs through everybody. He doesn't. Okay, so Liandal in the middle to Akajobi. Beekman once again. He's definitely getting involved for a 16-year-old. He's getting very much on the ball. Because of FM26, sometimes these highlights seem to take absolutely forever. So we're going to probably jump forward to nearer the goal, I assume. We're still passing it around edge of the penalty area. We've got a little bit closer. Scott plays the ball through. Andrew Beekman is in on goal, and the youngster gets his first ever goal in the 16th minute against Telstar in what would eventually be a 3-1 win, I believe. Nope, it was a 2-1 defeat. But, he scored. So season 1 is complete. We have our first youth intake and it is a golden generation. Andrew Beekman has already hit the ground running as well, scoring a goal in one of his first 6 appearances for the club. Season 2 is just around the corner where we'll have to lock in 2 players into this FC Volendam squad. And obviously we'll have ourselves another youth intake coming through in April where hopefully we get ourselves another golden generation. Probably asking a bit too much.